Words from Billy for the Human Beings of Earth. Excerpt from Contact Report 829, page 8.
I can only explain that we Plejarens really have no interest whatsoever in interfering in earthly matters, neither in political nor in private affairs. We also do not influence any human beings of Earth, and do not carry out any attacks against human beings of Earth, nor against the military, nor any technology.
I know that as also that there is no karma, but that this is absolute senselessness and a religious assertion which is not true, because there is no rebirth which would bring such a thing with itself, because a completely new personality is born which has no relevance to the last or previous one before the human being just died. But listen now please to what I have written for the human beings of Earth.
1. Remain independent at all times, and be conscious of yourself. Think for yourself independently, and do not let others think for you, so that you are never a believer and never will be. 2. Trust only yourself, and then only when you think in a right wise and are able to make right decisions, which will bring you success, but never disadvantage. 3. Never rely on what the fellow human beings say, but consider and examine everything for its reality and truth, and only then, when you have recognized the rightness of what has been said or advised to you as truth, use what has been said or advised for your benefit as well as for your knowledge and advantage. 4. Look not at what the fellow human beings are and do, but always strive to think for yourself and to decide and do what is best in order to recognize that which is right. 5. Whatever you do, do it in modesty, decency, honor and dignity, as well as with intellect and rationality. 6. Always be self-reliant in thought, decision and action, and never indulge in arrogance, megalomania and haughtiness, nor in unhonesty, arrogance, recklessness, imagination, lies, heedlessness, vulnerability, and deception, and so on. 7. Never believe in a higher might over you, not in an imaginary god, in gods or any other might, because you yourself are the might, energy and power over yourself, therefore it is you yourself who leads and manages your own life. 8. Know about yourself, about your own energy and power. Know about your capabilities and your abilities, and use everything at all times in a right and unchastisable kind and way. 9. Do not believe in a human being, but know about the reality and its truth, and use that alone to do rightfully, to lead your life, as well as to direct every action in honor and dignity. 10. Know for yourself about the formation of your life, existence and well-being, and know about your doing in reality and truth alone, and recognize for yourself the reality and its truth, as well as the knowledge of the truth of life, far from any belief in a god or human being. Love and cultivate your own life, your own thoughts, your own mode of life, your own ability, your own logic and your own intellect, as well as your own rationality, in order to evaluate and decide everything, your actions, your success in life, as well as your true peace, your calmness and righteousness, but also your true love, your well-being to all living things and to the effective reality, and create your own effective true knowledge and uncontrovertible truth. 12. That which is especially good and valuable belongs to being human in the real and true sense, but never that which is negative and evil, all of which must be controlled, tamed and subdued. Consider everything always right, because it is for your own well-being. Keep yourself mainly from all unvalues, which as unworthiness have to be overcome and subdued, such as the following lousy assertion: being cunning, being affected/attitudinized, being aggressive, being ambivalent, being arbitrary, being nailed up, being unsocial, being overbearing, being guileful, suspicious, arrogant, being pushy, being pompous, being blasé, being narrow-minded, being choleric, being spiteful, being demagogic, being despotic, being dogmatic, being dominant, being audacious, being egoistic, being egomaniacal, being egocentric, being jealous, being autocratic, being simple-minded, being mendacious, being sanctimonious, being presumptuous, one-sidedness, vanity, being elitist, being disgusting, boastfulness, being mean, being frustrated, being stubborn, being impatient, having a bad temper, nastiness, being slovenly, pathological craving for admiration, being condescending, being patronizing, being snooty, being overly boastful, being ostentatious, being insidious, being patronizing, being unapproachable, being pie-hated, being snobbish, being ignoring, being stuffy, being a rabble-rouser, being hysterical, being disingenuous, being thwarted, being cocky, being hopeless, being resigned, being shifty, being infamous, being scheming, being petty, being complicated, being boring, being lethargic, being malicious, being manipulative, being faint-hearted, being naive, being narcissistic, being neurotic, being superficial, being pretentious, being pedantic, being phlegmatic, being reserved, being rejecting of advice, being ruthless/inconsiderate, being flattering of oneself, being self-righteous, being selfish/egomaniacal, being in love with oneself/narcissistic, being scrupulous, being inflexible, being devious, and so on.
So this is what I thought should be written down once, that which actually results from the teaching of the truth, teaching of the creation energy, teaching of the life, and is very important for the human being. However, it should not be simply perceived and taken note of, read and believed, but consciously, clearly, and effectively considered and thought about, so that the reality and its truth can be recognized, understood, and also everything can be rightfully implemented and logically followed in accordance with the reality. However, this requires the clear and conscious self-thinking which is absolutely free from any form of any influence. Therefore, what I teach must also not be taken simply at face value. If, however, it would take place that what I teach would simply be accepted as reality and its truth and would be thought, decided, and acted accordingly, then the whole would only be equivalent to a belief. This, however, should not be the case. Therefore, only a conscious and clear self-thinking and the effective reality and its truth brings what shall be incontrovertible, namely the recognition and knowledge which are based on the absolute reality.
Asserting plural very badly getting out of the control of the good human nature.